The other big news story of the day, it's the much-awaited announcement on India's official entry to the Oscars of 2026. That announcement is finally here. So director Neeraj Ghaywan's Homebound has been selected as India's official entry to the Oscars this time. This film features Ishaan Khatter, Vishal Jethwa and Janhvi Kapoor. It is a movie that has received this widespread acclaim on the global festival circuit. It earned the title of second runner-up for the International People's Choice Award and a standing ovation at TIFF 2025. It's been backed by Dharma Productions. It's based on this New York Times article, which was titled Taking Amrit Home. It depicts caste and religious biases in India and how two friends fight against them and even try to build their lives despite of all of that. Let's keep our fingers crossed for India when it comes to Homebound as a movie and our entry into the Oscars. Apurva Mehta, the CEO of Dharma Productions, is with us. Apurva, firstly, congratulations on Homebound being chosen as India's official entry to the Oscars. Tell us about this recognition, what it means for you personally, for Dharma Productions and for Indian cinema at large.
Thank you so much. Sorry. This is really a surreal moment for us. I mean, to have the film premiere at Cannes and be applauded there so strongly, to have it being premiered again at TIFF and receive so much love, and now to be selected by the Film Federation of India as India's official entries for the Best International Feature on the 90th Academy Awards. It really is fantastic. I mean, it's overwhelming, to be very honest. It's not sinking in, and really feels so very special. I think Karan has worked so hard on this film. We are very thankful to Neeraj Ghaywan for his powerful, honest storytelling that has really brought us to this point, and feels very, very great, elated, humbled, privileged. I mean, I can go on, really.
Yes, indeed. I'm sure you can go on, and there's so much to say about the film. But meanwhile, many are saying, Purva, that Homebound is touching on universal themes, retaining this deeply Indian soul. But can you give us a sense of the story's heartbeat without any spoilers, perhaps?
So the film is releasing on the 26th of, it's releasing next Friday, actually. The film is really a very, very beautiful, heartfelt story about friendship, aspiration, identity, and, you know, the invisible social boundary lines that are there in this country. And it doesn't preach, it just shows life, and it's very, 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 very uplifting, which is the most beautiful part about this film, because Neeraj Ghaywan is such a sensitive filmmaker, and he's done such a terrific job, and the cast has been so stellar in their performances. I think you have to experience this film. I can't say more about it. You have to really experience it.
But tell me, Apurva, if you look back from Lagan to RRR, India has had this mixed record at the Oscars. You tell me, over the last few years, Indian films, we've seen films like The Elephant Whisperers and RRR, they've made global waves. Do you think the world's perception of Indian cinema is changing? How does Homebound fit into that shift, perhaps, how Indian cinema is viewed?
No, I think the shift is definitely happening because people are understanding that we are great content creators. Like you rightly said, we've continuously been making some news at every festival and at the Oscars, be it Elephant Whisperer and As You Imagine Is Light and all of these films. So I think there's definitely a lot of visibility for Indian films. There's a lot of acknowledgement of good cinema that comes from our country, and we're really hopeful that this is, you know, we've got such a terrific reception. We've had Martin Scorsese, who's come on board as an executive producer for this film, which doesn't really happen. We've had a very amazing team of people who worked on it, and it genuinely is such a fantastic watch. And we're very, very hopeful that the world sees it and loves it for what it is.
See more of this. You can speak on behalf of Dharma Productions for one, but in generally, when you look at production houses and the kind of cinema that is coming out from our production houses, how do you see this kind of selection really shape the content of the future? Will we see more bold, experimental cinema alongside the mainstream, which of course doesn't lose steam, does it?
I really hope so because, I think it is about the ability to showcase to the world and everyone in the country that we are able to make all kinds of cinema and we are supporting all kinds of stories and all kinds of storytellers. I think that is really, really important. Of course, one has to keep making the large, big franchise films and the large entertainers, but it's also very, very important to talk about stories that people may not be entirely aware of. And this is really based on a true incident, and it's a very heartwarming story. It's not. It's really about aspiration. It's about survival, and it's about embracing your identity. And I think it has a lot of positive messaging in the film, and once you see it, you realize that. So I think yes, for sure. I think all of this will be inspiring to people. Lots of others are also trying to make such stories and put out these voices. That yes, there is an opportunity to kind of put out your voice not only in your own country but also internationally.
Give us a sense of the marketing now, because being India's official entry to the Oscars, now that's the first step. But the journey to the Academy Awards itself can be a very long campaign. How are you preparing now for the months ahead? What can we expect? As producers, you will need to popularize the film in a big way to an international audience.
No, absolutely. I think, you're asking me a question where I have no answer for that because this news has just come in all of 10, 15 minutes, all of an hour
Sure.
ago. So we are now trying to figure all of that out. We'll have to, of course, get a publicist and we'll get on board. But we have very strong distributors in a lot of other parts of the world, and we're really hoping to use their strengths. And of course, we'll be doing all of the campaigning. All of that is required for the film. And yes, fingers crossed, all of it should kind of eventually lead to something very, very meaningful and special for the film.
What
So
would you
let's.
tell Indian audiences, Apurva, in passing, in India and abroad, who are now eagerly waiting to see Homebound as a film?
I think Homebound is extraordinarily special, like I said, for all those reasons. And please watch it on the 26th of September. Releases next Friday.
Okay.
This timing couldn't be more great, really. This news has come at such an opportune time. It's really helped us in putting the news out about the film. And yeah, I mean, I think it's a fantastic watch. Like I said, the actors
Sure.
have done a stellar job, and it's received so much love at all the international festivals. I don't see why the Indian audiences will not give it much more, if not the same amount of love.
Well, good luck. This is a great piece of news that we are talking about, and you for sharing that insider's perspective on what this Oscar entry means. We'll be watching this space very closely and rooting for Homebound at the Academy Awards. Thank you very much for
Yes.
joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
And with that, it's going to be time for me to wrap up this Friday edition of Profit 360. From the big moves in business to India's cultural footprint on the global stage, we're going to keep getting you sharp insights and stories that shape the India growth narrative. Thanks indeed for joining us. I'm Vikram Oza. From all of us at NDTV Profit, have a great weekend.